Hey everyone, I'm back with another video. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Jon Snow spin-off project, which is in development, but has still not been greenlit. While I was never excited about this proposed series, the more I think about it, the more I feel it would be a very bad move for the franchise. So here are a number of reasons in no particular order of importance. First off, there's really no compelling story to tell here. In Game of Thrones, we spent an extended period of time beyond the wall when Jon was both with the Night's Watch and also when he attempted to infiltrate the wildlings. And through Tormund, Ygritte, and Mance, we have a good idea of these people and their lives. There's nothing fresh and exciting that can come from this. Now, most people weren't happy with Jon's ending. I know I wasn't. But I don't see how you can fix it unless you take on the entire mess made by Dan and Dave in that final season. If you're going to tackle all of that, it's just too big to fix. Even if John's story was provided some sort of closure, or even a satisfying ending with this spin-off, the biggest problem from that final season is that Danny's character was completely destroyed. You would have to bring her back from the dead like John was. Other characters that were ruined, like Jamie, well, there's no fixing all of that. And then, of course, we have the whole weird and unbelievable way Bran became king. Another reason why it'd be so difficult to fix all of this is that long before season 8, Dan and Dave strayed far from George's books. They completely left out key people and plot lines, and they made the complexity of Dorne into something that was bordering on a parody. There's a long list of differences here, as book readers are aware. The point is that outside of a complete reboot of the series years from now, unfortunately, there's really nothing worth salvaging with where Dan and Dave left this. So, reviving Game of Thrones storylines, whether it's to supposedly fix them or not, only brings back to the surface the great disappointment that most fans felt with that final season. The success of House of the Dragon cleaned the slate, and viewers have given George's world another shot. So, why go back when the future is so bright? And that's the thing, too, is you just can't go back. They had their shot, and they missed the mark. Can you think of a show that tried and succeeded in fixing the end of a series that failed? Very few have even tried. Dexter did, and they managed to be the only series that has produced two finales that most people hated. Then you have The X Files that just tried to revive their franchise. It wasn't really bad when they returned, but the glory days of that show were clearly over, and they just sort of muddled along and then faded away. The bottom line, as Ryan Condal revealed a couple of months ago, is there's a plan to make House of the Dragon sort of into a long running anthology series. After the current series is over, they want to cover different periods of history during the Targaryen reign. And while I think a Jon Snow spin off would likely get a nice initial viewership due to it being a high profile show, along with it riding in on the back of the success of House of the Dragon, long term, it would be bad for the franchise. As The Walking Dead demonstrated, inundating the market with inferior spin offs hurts the brand. And unfortunately, for the reasons mentioned, the series would be just that. It's too bad for Kit Harrington. I can understand why he wants to reprise the role after dedicating years of his life to the show and then have it fall flat in the end. But for the franchise and HBO long term, it's best this one is just left on the shelf. And finally, I've read George's latest book, The Rise of the Dragon. It chronicles the reign of the Targaryens from Aegon the Conqueror to just after the period of the current show, House of the Dragon. It's not too much new ground here. If you've read Fire and Blood and A World of Ice and Fire, it's not something you must buy unless you want to get it for all the new artwork, which is really well done. But if you're watching this video, you're likely a hardcore fan of George's world, so in that case, you'll probably want to purchase it if you haven't already. My only complaint is that I wish they had taken a bit of time at the outset of the book to cover the Targaryens during the time just prior to the doom of Valyria. It said that they had a prophecy then that had led them to leave Valyria for Dragonstone. A few pages there elaborating on that period would have been a nice touch, but like with Fire and Blood, it begins with Aegon the Conqueror. I did enjoy it though, so if you're like me and have all the books, you'll want to get this one too. So that's it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And if you're interested in more House of the Dragon content, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.